Rise of the Shield Hero, episode 21 recap. The king and first princess are put on trial. That's all that happens this episode.
Yeah.
What did you like?
I love this episode so much. Everything about this episode is great. I love that they refer to him as the king consort, which if you don't know much about royalty, a king or queen who doesn't actually have any power but is still married to the one who does have power is considered the consort. So I love that that's in there because it kind of shows that he really doesn't have the power he claims he has had this whole time.
Yep.
I love just the whole, this really shows you what the queen is made of. She's willing to sentence her husband and her child to death for the crimes that they've committed against her country. Granted, she was planning on sacrificing herself to save them in the end, but
I feel like that wouldn't have worked with Naofumi.
I don't think it would have either, but
second off, I feel like it's a weakening of her character that she had that whole thing.
I think it's a nice balance of this is how a mother could sentence her child to death and still live with herself.
Okay.
In the end. Not so much her husband, but her own daughter. Like, as bad as mine is, it is still her daughter. Like, I don't care what my son does. If my son turns out to be an actual shithead, he's still my son.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be a point where I'm going to have to decide, is it worth sacrificing for him? And I think in the end, a mother will always sacrifice for her child. But it also shows her dedication to her country that she was willing to sentence them to death and put it in Naofumi's hands whether they lived or died. Like, that's true royalty at its greatest. To be able to sacrifice for your country and to do it because you know your country deserves it after what they've been put through.
Giving up your own life for a country that you failed isn't sacrifice.
But she didn't fail them. They did. In her absence.
Okay. Do the Jedi let the Sith come to power, or does Jar Jar Binks let the Sith come to power? Because technically Jar Jar is the one that gives Palpatine everything. The Jedi had nothing to do with the Sith Order coming together, right? Nothing at all to do.
I'm not talking Star Wars politics.
Okay,
I'm talking
fine.
politics. And I don't know. I love this episode because it really solidifies the type of character the queen is, as opposed to her husband, the king asshole.
Yeah.
I love that he turns the whole thing into a joke. And it's from here on out, he's going to be known as trash. And now everybody understands why we are always calling her bitch, because he changes her name to bitch and her adventuring name is whore.
I forgot about the whole adventuring name thing because I just call her bitch all the time. But yeah, she's bitch and or whore.
Yes, depending on where she's at. But no, he finally reaches a point where their actions don't bother him anymore. And he can let them live and he can let go of it because he knows he's found a better place.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point of this episode is he's accepting the fact that he's the shield hero.
It's really funny how they just got through all of their anti-church sentiment and then he becomes a literal Christ figure of someone truly apologizes to him and he forgives them no matter what their sins were.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny how they're like, bad church, bad church, bad church. But that Jesus guy was really cool.
No, I like that she just by the way, the 3 Heroes Church is now abolished and now we'll have the 4 Heroes Church. And, I'm just going to make my own religion and you guys are going to have to get in line. I do, I also love the scene where the weapons maker guy is kind of standing in the crowd listening to everything he knows is true.
Mm-hmm.
And just listening to all the people around him like, what? It was all a lie?
Yeah,
How could they have done this to us? And he's just like, you people are so stupid.
you can tell this is the best day that guy's had in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like how the season's over.
Yes, this feels like a season ender. So this actually, I was thinking about this on the way back here. I don't know if television still does this or not, but back when TV in the 80s and 90s, they had what was called Sweeps Week. And it was 2/3 of a way through a season, they would try to put on their best show they possibly could during Sweeps Week to get the ratings up, because that's when studios would decide whether to keep a show for more seasons or not.
Okay.
So Sweeps Week was always the week that you got the best of the best episodes in every show you watched.
Okay.
And this felt like that. It's 2/3 of the way through the season. It's almost over. They're trying to get that. This is the best we can do before we get picked up for another season.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah. We do see Melty again.
Does she show up in the fight?
She shows up in the final wave, yeah, with her mother. But she does not go to the island with them to level up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is kind of it kind of feels like that Sweeps Week. This is the best we can do.
Yeah,
they get picked up for another season.
They even give us the shitty flash forward that never happens. When it's him on the beach and there's always birds flying around and it's all super gray in the background.
Yeah.
That never happens. I think it's supposed to be the end of season 1 and all of the fog's parted and he's on the beach and there's all of that.
Yeah.
I think that's the iconography there, but I don't like it if that is it.
But yeah,
and I totally missed it if it's not.
You do kind of get a flash of the hourglass underwater.
Yeah, that's good foreshadowing.
And there is a little thing that popped up at the end that it looked the same as when his shield finds new powers.
That is what it always pops up for the next episode's title.
Does it?
Yeah.
But I noticed this one was called the Four Heroes Council.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah, because they have to meet one more time before the wave, and Naofumi is leaving the country. But
yeah, I feel like there might be something like a power that might get unlocked if they all actually came together and started working on the same level.
The power of friendship, man. Hitler Youth was making his jokes last episode. That's why it didn't work.
But I like that Spear Hero finally realizes that he's been manipulated this entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get into stuff I didn't like, but
Alright, what did you not like? How sadistic my mindset is when mine is being tortured, because it feels great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic hearing that voice shouting in pain.
No, I think something I really didn't like was Ren and Itsuki. Oh yeah, it did kind of look like she was trying to kill Melty.
Yeah.
Well, why in the hell did it take you this long to say that? Why if you saw this were you not defending him earlier? Why are you such dumbasses?
Isuki is definitely, he was just betting on the winning team.
Yeah.
And I feel like that will always be his MO.
Yeah. Ren, I expect more. I don't know why, but I feel like Ren should just be smarter than his character is.
It's because they keep telling you that his character's smart, and that hasn't come out at all.
I am literally waiting for an episode where it concentrates on some of the other heroes for one episode and kind of gives us some background on them, because I feel like Ren has the potential to be a great character.
I think all of them do, even Hitler Youth.
But I feel like Ren would be a character I actually liked, as opposed to the other two.
Yeah.
The other two I just don't think I would care for, but Ren I feel like I would like if I knew more about him.
Yeah. No, and I feel like once we hit Rise of the Shield Hero Season 27, my guess is we'll see a little bit of the sword and shield fighting against the bow and spear.
But no, I do like there is a lot of foreshadowing in this episode. He wakes up dreaming about him and the girls being peaceful in a country with the flag, which is a nod back to the demi-human.
Has he seen a demi-human flag yet?
Yeah, he knows the whole story about the flag from when they saved them from the slaves.
So he has a mental image from their flashback.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck yeah, let's go, graphic designers!
Yeah, so you kind of get a little bit of foreshadowing there. You definitely get some of he's starting to feel like this is more home than his actual home is. Like, even when he says
at the beginning
he just wants to find a way home.
At the beginning of the episode, he's all about how he just wants to find a way home, and then in the middle of the trial, it's like, oh wait, these are real people. Maybe I should stay and be grateful that I'm a literal superhuman.
And maybe, being the SHIELD heroes who I'm meant to be as opposed to who I'm being forced to be.
Yeah.
I think is the big realization in this one. So.
Turns out being anime dad's easier when you want to be anime dad.
And you kind of... So the character with the green hair, I can never remember her name.
It hasn't been important yet, so...
Right, you kind of see her being mistreated by quite a few people.
Yeah, you've seen her...
You kind of see her being pushed around a lot.
Yeah, she's been... It's happened in the background of a few scenes, but it's just been background almost Foley work.
Yeah.
And then, and this time you really see, like, a knight attacks her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not for a great reason.
Right.
A reason, but not a good one.
No. So this is one of my favorite episodes, I think, because I think the queen is really an amazing example of what a queen should be.
Mm-hmm.
And how she's willing to sacrifice for her country. And you kind of get an explanation as to why she wasn't there.
Yeah, we actually get a really good explanation as to why she wasn't there. She wasn't there to go summon the heroes, and then when the heroes got summoned without the actual council that was supposed to summon them, then her life was being threatened, and she had to go quell the fire around the world.
She had to clean up the king's mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's a good reason for the queen to be hiding abroad.
And you find out the king was allowed to do what he wanted because the person she actually left in charge was killed in the first wave.
Yep.
Which was the lord of the land where...
Sayet.
Sayet, which is where Raftalia is from.
Mm-hmm.
So, spoilers... We do meet his daughter in the next season.
Oh yeah, we totally do. Yeah, we're excited that season 2's out. We did it! Season 2's out, everybody! Okay, so... Other spoiler talk?
I mean, there's not really a lot. I mean, from here, it's just fun times to the end of the season. You go to the island where you get double XP, and you meet some new people, and...
There's a quote-unquote betrayal.
There's one last big wave before...
Because Scythe Guy and Gym Girl need to not be friends at one point.
Yeah, but...
That's a betrayal of sorts.
Yeah.
More of a Romeo and Juliet type of betrayal. Like, two star-crossed families has to happen.
Like, they like each other, but they are on different sides, so they have to fight each other, but they really don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really love the part that's coming. Like, I'm excited. This is kind of the downhill part of like, this is the part where they actually start having a little bit of fun and things lighten up a little bit before the next wave hits.
Yeah, for a whole, like, 2 episodes.
Yeah. It doesn't last long, but in this show, it never does.
Alright, well, what's the big takeaway?
Big takeaway, you get what's coming to you eventually.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, no matter how powerful you are, your actions will catch up with you.
Mm-hmm. No, fair enough. I was going to say kill him with kindness.
Eventually people will just start calling you bitch and whore. And trash.
I think that's honestly just, like, good anger management advice. It's like, there are some things that you can't let go, but let go of what you can, and just move on. Call him a bitch.
Yeah.
Let everyone know that the king is trash. Other than that, what you gonna do?
It kind of reminds me of, have I ever made you watch Men in Tights?
Yes, once.
At the very end, when King Richard comes home and he names all the toilets in the land Johns.
Yes! Yes, it is very much
that
like
is what it makes me think of every time.
Yeah, legally changing your name against your will is a really, really funny joke.
It is. It's great.
And it can only be told on the fictional character, ostensibly real life character. Could that be a judge's sentence? Surely a judge's sentenced a mother to change your child's stupid ass name. There was that Seinfeld episode where people started naming their kids Seven, right?
I mean, honestly, some celebrities should be forced to change their kids' names.
Yo,
when you name your child Apple, you got issues.
I've heard horror stories from small town Illinois teachers, like kindergarten teachers, and like the names that they get sent.
Yeah.
So my aunt said that she had a student named, and I'm about to put one of her students on blast, but someone was named LaDasha.
And it has an actual dash in it?
It has a hyphen in it.
Yeah. No, people are stupid when it comes to naming their kid. Like, your kid has to live with that for the rest of their life.
And
don't do that to that child.
It's not only your child has to live with it, the people your child's around have to live with it.
Yeah.
Like,
although, I gotta say, in Arthur 2, when they're thinking about having a kid, and he wants to name them governor so that they'll have a head start in being called governor.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny, but, I mean, it's, people name their kids the dumbest stuff. I knew a kid named Budweiser. Like, literally, his first name was Bud, and his last name was Weiser.
Okay.
Why would you do that to your child?
But that's... surely there's some meth head that's named their child, like, Satan.
I'm sure there is, but it's just horrifying. Like, don't name your kids something stupid.
But, I mean, also think of the consequences. If I name my child... Ah! That's going to be hard on my voice. But that's also going to be hard on everyone around them's voice.
And your child's going to grow up with a paranoia complex.
Oh yeah, they'll be jumpy as fuck. Just like, is someone shouting for me or dying? It's one of those two. I know from experience.
So yeah, appreciate your good name and don't let it get turned into something like bitch or whore. Yeah, that's your takeaway.
That's your takeaway. Don't let your name get changed to bitch.